Alright, I will try to go through several things, bookkeeping ones at the start. I will most likely forget about something, but I will try to do my best not to and try to go through stuff as quickly as reasonably possible. So, because I forgot to do this way earlier, I finally got around and adjusted the loot page. Specifically, hold on, do you have access to it? Yeah, you should be able, in the loot handout, you should be able to see the page for like session 39/40. And I basically like combined the stuff that you would have gotten from the recent Night Lord hunting bonanza. It's not much, not original, but I admit I had a bit of trouble figuring out how to balance loot for your characters. And,
no problem.
There's one more iteration. Please ensure that your resistances immunities are set properly on the sheet. D&D doesn't have the best automation. Pathfinder has better, but at least this matters. If like I said, I have like damage type set properly on my end, and you have resistance is set on your end, then like it works. The system reads it correctly, so that's actually slightly important. So yeah, if you are not in the scene, if you are doing stuff in the background, then yeah, make sure that this is set properly. As far as I remember, everyone passed their checks drinking that boiling blood, so that everyone has permanent resistance to cold damage.
Yes.
I believe that's how it went. And yeah, pretty much you can pick, as it's written in the handout, one piece of armor or shield that you have. If it's not already +3 magic item, you can basically bump it up to +1 by +1. But if it's already +3, then yeah, you need to pick something.
Oh, we can push it to +3?
Yes, to +3, yes, you cannot push it higher. So if you if you have +3 item, you cannot make it +4.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have no armor or shields or weapons. Can I instead get a +1 to my cloak of protection?
I'll allow it. It's kind of like not like armor, but it's freaking protective clothing.
It's like
so
fake armor.
Oh my gosh! When I drink a potion of speed, I'll be at 30 AC now.
90 the fuck?
Yeah. Oh, it's because I have to de-equip my cloak of protection. Nope, I'm still stuck at 29. Thought I de-equipped this already.
Yeah, also remember about yours, limits on attunement items.
Anybody want a cloak of protection?
Can't attune to them.
Do you need to attune?
Yeah,
it's an attunement.
It's an attunement required.
Never mind, it's garbage then. I don't want it.
I want it.
What did you say, Lily? Oh, there we
There you go.
go.
You can have it. Have the cloak of protection. All yours.
I have
It's huge.
many attunement slots.
That's right. As an artificer, you get more attunement slots than most people, right? Or you just
Yes.
haven't used any.
I have 6.
That's right. So here's your
Nice.
cloak of protection. You might have to go to a clother to have it tailored a little bit.
No, I'm an artificer. I'll do it myself.
Giant billowing cloak on this fairy.
Cloak of billowing, if you will.
You misunderstood me. I didn't say a cloak of billowing. I said a cloak that billows.
It's like a fucking 8-foot long fucking
Fine print.
cloak on like a 3-foot tall fairy.
That's exactly what's happening.
Actually,
It's
what I
like-
do is that I cut like 2 holes in the sleeve, and that's what I do.
It's like
I
a
only wear the
beautiful lunar
sleeveless one.
moth, like the fucking trailing behind you.
Is it not adding this?
Alright, so speaking of bookkeeping stuff, so that one. Second thing, out of character, the majority decided that you are fine with the nightmare mode option. So as forewarned, DM being me will try to do his best to kill your characters. I probably didn't think of all the possibilities, and it might turn out that I'm just blowing hot air and this will turn out to be a complete breeze to you, but we'll see. I'd rather forewarn you instead of like going, no, it's gonna be fine, and then I TPKA all of you. So I rather err on that side. And two things in regards to that. One, more like a general thing. I know that some characters are finding ways and looking forward to extending their lifespan and whatnot. I will flat out honestly admit that while we playing Class Survivors, I did leave like this plot hook that those characters may perhaps one day return. If someone finds that world, finds your resting place and unseals you. When it comes to these characters, I'm gonna say, considering the time span, that it's like the present day from this campaign is like over 1,000 years in the future. I'd say that I want this to be like self-contained. I am not really planning to like offer a chance to like bring those characters back in some other games.
This is it for Ibram.
That's fine. I mean, my character's life extension did have a tax on it based on how she wished for it, so she is gonna die in her epilogue.
I mean, my guy isn't very young.
No, you might die this combat from old age.
I might die right now.
Heart attack in combat.
My old man might just have a cardiac arrest and just end it all, you know? We have no idea.
Exactly. Also, Shadow, could you put scale mail +3 into my equipment? I can't do it for some reason.
I'll get it for you. I think I have access from when I created your
And here's the thing, and there's also one more reason why I'm glad that we are getting towards the end of using D&D. Somehow they fucked up one more thing in the modules, and I can look up like in the quick search, but when I click to insert, I can't. I need to look it up manually from the database and then drag it.
That sucks.
From there. So they had to fucking fucked it up again. So yeah, that's not exactly the best, but yeah, I just wanted to mention that bit, that in the interest of honesty and what you might expect. I dare say that those characters had a pretty good run.
Indeed.
And well, that run has not ended, so you'll see what I in store for you yet.
Ready to die.
And one more thing that I didn't really write it down in the handout, but that's mostly because on one hand it's like a common sense, on the other I just wanted to reiterate this, that while your characters have methods of evacuation, escaping and whatnot, I'll put it this way, there's not gonna, out of character, there won't be like a way, because I've seen in some campaigns that when it comes to the final battle, like DMs find a way to like, oh hey, you can like benefit from long rest, but it doesn't take 8 hours, instead it takes like a minute, you know, like a hyperbolic time shaver and whatnot. I'm gonna flat out say here, I am not gonna offer that here.
Right.
Just so you're aware. So it's like, sure, you have ways to like escape, like, you know, Word of Recall and whatnot, but if you go back and, I don't know, like try to like gather up your strength and whatnot, and it takes hours, that most likely, essentially, if you like escape, go back, I will treat it as a retreat, or rather like go back, like long rest, I'm gonna treat it like as a retreat, and pretty much that like the final conclusion is that without your characters being there, it pretty much ends up as a ending one with some changes, like, you know, the Night Lords duke it out between themselves, and more like a mix between one or two, we'll see. Yeah, maybe it's not needed, but I I kind of want to cover as many bases as possible, so at least you are aware of like the stakes here.
Yeah.
And just to make sure, because I know my method of explaining is pretty chaotic at times, is there any confusion or questions about what I just said?
No, I'm good.
to go. Locked in.
Right, and well, last thing, considering that obviously, like in universe, the session starts at the same point where we ended. So as Beckett was explaining to you the situation and giving you pretty much those three choices as he saw them, and out of character, we made our choice. And the question is, like, do you want to have like in character scene, because obviously your characters like reach that conclusion in character as well. So you do want to have a scene of you like giving your choices in character, or we just, you know, hand wave it and say that your characters made their call and are moving to conduct preparations. What you prefer?
So do we want to have a role play preparation, or do we want to just straight up go do the thing?
I mean, prep time you will still have it. It's like a matter of, do you? Okay, yeah. I'm gonna rephrase the question. Do you want to like start from actually like play out this scene in character, as Beckett gives you these choices and your characters like give their decision of like, no, we are not gonna do the truce. We are going, you know, full on.
I mean, I had stuff I wanted to do before we left, but I don't need to do them in the like with.
No, we're still.
Yeah, prep time is a different thing. It's like.
Yeah.
We're still getting the prep time. It's just that, do we want to roleplay the prep time, or do we want to just say we did it?
Not roleplay the
any
prep
roleplay we want to do?
Do you roleplay this scene of like giving Beckett in the council like, okay, we decided this, or do we move forward from this scene and move towards doing prep time?
Dylan astrally projects. I'm not doing it. Okay.
I think we're good.
I also think we should just do prep time.
Yep.
All right. Okay. So, apart from what you've written to me, JP, is there anything else extra?
I thought about bringing a bag of holding, but nah, I will not.
What about bringing 2 bags of holding?
I mean, that's why I'm saying bringing one is because I already have another one.
When all else fails, you throw them into the room like a hand grenade.
I don't think it will be climatic for this, so I will not. I believe I'm ready. Besides asking Beckett for like another deal, which I will message you for.
Alright, speaking of Beckett, I fucking forgot, but hearing your answer that we ain't gonna do the truce, he nods almost as he expected that, and says, if anything, that will be interesting experience. After all, you imagine you will need a guide in. As you might expect, or not, but you are strong enough to realize that someone like Crimson King, considering what he's attempting to do, just teleporting in into the center of his ritual, that's not gonna happen. Alright. Honestly, I think by this point in time, you are definitely like reaching into those like special divine chapters.
Yeah. I'd hope so.
I forgot to add that part. Important.
Ah, okay. He is fine about that. Right. Yeah. And speaking of prep, that's another bookkeeping thing I did and had to mention earlier. Some of the items they were able to improve them a bit. So of course, if you check the handout for custom items, you will see that light steed and mana potion they are adjusted a bit. No changes for drugs. As they were since session 13, they continue to be the same way.
Alright.
And if no one, if there's a player character that has no drugs, then you can get, if you requisition for it, then you can get 2 doses.
I'd like to requisition for the strongest potion of giant strength.
Potion seller. Give him a
Potion
just stronger.
Couldn't
potion.
handle my strongest potion.
I would like you with potion.
I'll have to roll to see what's their stock, because the regular, like, healing stuff and whatnot, sure.
We're talking about rarities. We're talking about.
I mean,
We're talking about.
That's not only about rarities, but I didn't delve too much into this, but like I imagine like some potions have different ingredients, like methods how to make them. So even if you have alchemist that knows how to make the best healing potions, that doesn't mean he can get you like all the best other stuff. After all, like the situation in the City of Hope is like much better, but it's still a single bastion of light, now with some allies, but in the middle of like post-apocalyptic wasteland. So I still want to like show that it's not like this is not post-scarcity society. One potion of giant strength, but the weakest one, I'm not sure which one is it, because I know they have like different types.
No,
have to double
the
check.
weakest is the hill giant, by the way. Unfortunate, that pushes me only up by 1 strength. What if I just yoinked out like a freaking oil of slipperiness mid-fight?
As long as it's not like the grease moment we had in our own game.
Oh,
And also not to mention that obviously, you are the heroes, you are the main characters, so focus is on you, but technically speaking, like this city has other like guardsmen, not adventurers, but like soldiers that they need their own equipment, like consumables, so
I feel like with the council being aware of the dire situation, there'd be some leniency with the requisitions.
Yeah, and I rolled, and they literally have nothing better right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm not arguing for that. I'm just kind of like putting that out there as a generalization. All right, I'll be.
I mean, that adds to the direness of the situation. They know the situation is bad, but well, you are shit out of luck. We don't have the best stuff for you. You need to deal with what we have.
There are shortages. We only have so much here in this little tiny, like, fucking city in the brink of apocalypse.
Exactly. Alright. Anyone else in terms of preparation? Anything else that requires my input or rolling?
I think I'm good. When Monk comes back, we can ask him if he wanted to do his stuff.
Alright, yeah, Monk did mention that.
We could always sacrifice a child for evil powers.
What the fuck?
Aren't you like a preacher's son? Like, why? What?
I'm turning your alignment to evil.
Changing your alignment to evil.
What is this? Like those who walk away from Umla, the fucking philosophy book, where it's like, if a child suffers, is it bad if the entire city is like fucking better off because of it? It's dumb shit.
Just saying. All it is one child sacrifice for the greater good.
And apart from prep, I do have also additional question. Like obviously Siderin counts. Actually, the entire council was not there. It was primarily Siderin and like his closest bodyguards. So he's aware of what you are doing and where you are going. Apart from prep, do you do any farewells?
I say goodbye to my family, and I take like 3 hours to do it to everyone.
Individual like goodbyes
Yes.
to everyone.
Yes.
I show up with a giant box of varying pastries and say goodbye to their family as well, because they've housed me occasionally.
Yeah, you're like our adopted son.
And then and then I whisper to what is it? One of the older women,
Yeah, the
grandma.
aunties. Yeah,
I'm
my
like,
mom.
if I do die, there's a clone of me. Just go get him.
She's like, whatever you say, dear. And she's like 84.
Yeah,
Just
that's exactly what I wanted.
She just nods shakily and is like, of course. Like, completely believing you.
Which is funny because I'm not even lying. That's what's hilarious.
Yeah, but she's just like, all these kids and their funny tales. Like, she's old as hell.
A little bit senile.
She's a little bit going senile. She's definitely someone who like forgets what's happening every once in a while.
One last time, lifting the children into the air and being like, "Yeah, now you're tall."
They form an orderly line.
Well trained.
There's like 15 kids in our fucking family.
I do like the last house moving thing that they need.
Grandma might be pretty silent, but I imagine that at least from some members of the family that were relatively close to Dolan, there's this vibe of, but why isn't the city safe?
Yeah, his wife is giving him like the meanest stink eye known to man. And she's like, Dolan, I need to talk to you.
It's just like doing the finger thing.
And
It's just like, I need to
pulls
talk to
him
you.
away. She's like a autumn Eladrin elf, like half elf. So she has like long orange hair. Her name is Autumn, and she just pulls him away, and he's gone for like 30 minutes, and you hear shouting through the door.
Oh yeah.
He comes back. He has like a bruise on his arm.
Yeah, because I imagine that from most commoners' perspective, family members, like, you did your job. Like, for the past year,
exactly.
this city has been, like, the most peaceful that it ever was. Like, it actually felt like the war has ended properly. Like, sure, there's still, like, danger out there. Like, you cannot just go walk willy-nilly, but it was improving. It was an improvement. And question is, does Sasa has... Actually, no, that would be a wrong thing to say. I was gonna say, does Sasa has the courage to bring the topic to Kiro, but that would be like a wrong bait.
Oh no, I will definitely not be able to tell her, but I would tell her that I'm going on a mission. I wouldn't tell her what it is about. I am not emotionally strong for that.
Out of curiosity, do you have any like deception, bluff?
No. But I have a net to 20.
Nice.
Oh, okay. Do you think it's gonna take long? I remember that sometimes you used to be on for quite a long time.
It shouldn't, but might have given like a day or two. Oh,
Damn.
Oh, okay. Well, good hunting. You've proven many times before that you can take care of yourself.
I will give her a hug and just go get information with everyone.
I feel like Vale would like break down your door and be like, I smell that you're anxious about something. And give you a big hug before you leave as well.
Yeah,
Vale
with
has
Belle,
a
she would probably.
Very good scent.
Yeah, he has a keen sense of smell.
If it's Belle, then she would probably just tell him about it. It'd just be like, I am not sure if I'm coming back, like at all.
He knows you well enough that he's not going to try and persuade you to not go.
Oh yeah, she's definitely not doing that. She's definitely not letting herself slip. And just tell him that to take care of Kiriko, please. And if bad news come of her, to press the button on the box, and then she's gonna give him a box.
Boombox. Sorry.
Boombox.
A little puzzle cube.
Equipped.
It's the box from Hellraiser.
Yeah.
They opened the box, and we
I
came.
Wait. That's it.
Alright. And yeah, now we have returned. So, Monk, what did Winona have in mind for the prep time?
She was going to head back to obviously her conclave and like make sure everything is okay. But her main goal is she's going to head back to the small little ruined church where she spent her year plus in isolation. Drinking water. And she will gather up all of her notes and like freshen herself up on what rituals she did to essentially summon the Crimson King and his brother to this realm.
A rival.
Yeah, rival. Brothers can be rivals, but you know, semantics. She'll freshen herself up on that, and like as she does, she'll like also gather up her notes and things. Like she'll prestidigitate the walls to like clean off all the blood and the sigils and the markings and all that. She'll set the pews back to where they're supposed to be, and she'll set right the little altar to the light that she destroyed last time she was in here. she'll set it right, light the candles and all that, and she'll say her last prayer, probably ever, to the light, and she'll essentially explain to it in prayer that, like, we're gonna go fight the last of the Night Lords. Like, this is your chance. Like, we've righted the wrongs that we've done in your eyes. We've killed, however many of the Night Lords, and the one we set free.
Oh, we also killed afterwards.
Yeah, who we also killed, exactly. So, like, their karmic scales with you should be balanced. I'm going to go set mine right. I know you might not care for my methods in fighting the darkness, but this is your chance to help us in your way. When I call for your aid, I hope that you are willing to send us your warriors to do the one thing I know that you're willing to do, which is destroy evil. And if not, then to hell with you.
Then fuck you! Fuck you, God!
Yeah, to the hells with you. And I'll know that the only thing you ever really cared about was destruction, rather than fighting evil and corruption. And she'll leave with that prayer, and she'll head to, like, whoever the most trusted sister in her convent is, and she'll hand them, like, a book and tome of all her collected notes about the rituals and, like, what's worked, what hasn't, how she's been able to adapt her ritual to the other cities of light, and she'll hand that to her, like, sealed in wax and paper, and just, if I never come back, use this and know that I only did it for the greater good. And she'll hand that off and then probably rally up with the others and be on her way.
During the prayer, the room at first, there's a brief moment where it got like really dark as the presence is weighting down upon this area. But then it turns light, but this unpleasant pale light that's neither warm. That's not warm or friendly or happy, and maybe we're not images, or maybe there is the sensation of something not human, not mortal, for a better word, that's looking down upon her, and this only takes a bit, but it feels much longer of this silent judgment, and what two words finally reverberate throughout the chamber, but only Winona hears, is die well.
Right. To the hells with him indeed, then.
No, I went full like the fucking Book of Grudges for dwarves, like die well. Trying to. I don't actually. Not if you want. If Winona would even care, you can roll insight. If not, that's fine.
I'll roll insight, like, for me.
Okay.
Like, it's more just that I, as a player, want to know, not that Winona really cares, because she's,
That's
like,
alright.
well past and over the light, so...
Yep.
Let's roll that insight. Let's go.
All right.
24.
Yeah, with a 24, it's die well in a case of there is not enough hostility in the tone, at least we know I didn't hear it. So it's more of a case of like good hunting, but expecting that death is possible.
Yeah.
So it's more like a good hunting instead of like I hope you die for yourself.
Yeah. It's break a leg in a nice way.
Yeah, something along those lines. But
Yeah.
I mean, hey, you have the truth of the world that the light is not a nice fucking thing.
Exactly. That's why I told him to go to hell in a prayer to him. Eat shit and die. Yeah. She signs her prayer, eat shit and die, Winona Wormax.
Limo.
But yeah,
Alright, so those...
really all her stuff. She doesn't really have a lot of she doesn't really have a lot of social links, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
Part of me wants
that
to
is
have
fair.
Dylan talk to the light within him, but also he's too prideful to ask it for help. I don't think he would. He'd be like, I fucking hate you.
I mean,
Yeah.
Dolan did talk like a lot
Yeah.
during the downtime, and the conclusion was that yes, it is like you see you throbbing, like there's some change, like you are being affected both ways, but there's still this matter of like if you cross a line, we're gonna have a problem and we're gonna start throwing hands.
Yeah. We'll see. They kind of like tolerate each other, I think, but I don't think it goes much further than that.
Yeah, because I know it was left towards the very end. That's how like the plot worked, but I still remember about the thing that you wanted for Dolan.
Yeah, it's good.
The Crimson King is the sus. Anyways, so would that conclude? Unless, like, if you have to, like, I'm totally fine. Like, if you want to type, if Pastor did end like special prep time.
I somewhat speak at least.
And generally speaking, Beckett. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
Generally speaking, Beckett would go like, I mean, on one hand, yeah, sure, like this was happening at this for a long while, like half a year minimum. So, you know, a few more days wouldn't hurt, but it also feels like this is in a final stretch, so probably take no more than a day, max 2. So like up to like 4 or 5 pulses would be like ideal of like trying not to prolong it too much. Before you have to go, and of course, just so you're aware, like Beckett is also providing transportation with teleports.
Right. Pastor is going to ask if he could get Chivas to collect all the creations of the Fallen. So the other members of Pastor's regiment, as well as the Fallen. I mean, not the Fallen, the Angel of Darkness.
Batman.
Yes.
Yeah, so you have like those 2 surviving prototypes, Angel of the Dark, like
Yes.
appear, gather around.
I am going on a suicide mission. Just
When
flat
do you
out.
not?
The Night Wards are trying to obtain divinity. This is reprehensible. I am going with the fellow members of the Night Watch that you know me to travel with. Do not expect a return. Basically leaves it at that.
I was gonna ask my creator that if you have to do this, but you explained that it sounds serious enough that I understand that you have to do this. If worse comes to pass, I'm promising you that I will do my utmost to continue your work and keep this city safe.
Thank you.
Angel of the Dark just silently nods in agreement as he was like, yeah, basically Angel of the Dark is like one man counterintelligence agent operative in the city shadows.
Feel free to tell the other Warforged. I do not think they would like to be in the dark. And I think that's all for Pastor.
Alright. They will understand that this was your purpose as you've decided. They will decide their own. Yeah, and yeah, we can leave it at that. So, around 4-5 pulses later, all of you with your supplies gathered, magic items attuned, farewells given, and future of your projects, of your friends, family members, the city entrusted in the hands of the others, should the worst come to pass. Having done all of that, you assemble either back at the council's chambers or just at the other agreed upon place with Beckett that is already preparing, like said, the ingredients needed to conduct a long-range transportation of the entire group. I've taken that you are as ready as you can be.
I am prepared.
So am I.
Let's kill this son of a bitch.
The fucking gun.
Hell yeah.
We all roll up with like fucking motorcycles, sunglasses, and shotguns.
I make shotguns for everyone.
Shotguns for everybody!
Yeah, I thought of this gift.
Kill all some bitches. That's my official instructions.
I will have a glorious end.
Don't count yourself too short. I've seen you overcome plenty of adversaries and, well, this will be your toughest challenge yet. But in the end, you do come from the City of Hope. So hold.
Either
Hold,
we'll
not hold.
prevail or we'll die in a cool way.
Actually, I come from the city of unforgivable.
Well, I come from the city of prismatic brilliance, okay, but I'm, immigration.
But could you really call that place your home if you lived most of your life here?
No.
Exactly.
I don't know, I've known people like that where they're like, "Oh, I'm from this place," and they're like, "I know you only lived there for 2 years as a baby. Are you really from there?"
Their identity, like they've channeled the essence of that place, and they're like, "This is where I am from now."
Yeah, they're like, I lived in Chile for like 2 years, and then I moved to Canada. It's like, you didn't move to Canada. You were a baby. Your parents moved to
You were
Canada,
moved.
okay?
You
Don't.
didn't move. You were moved.
Yeah. You were part of the package deal.
Right. As you assemble around Beckett, take your hands in, or basically make sure that all of you are connected one way or another. He utilizes the spell, and then find yourself in a different place. As you step outside, not step outside, but step out of the teleportation, and your minds quickly take in the surrounding area, you realize that you've landed on a nearby hill, a vantage point that gives you a good look at what you believe to be the very center of the Crimson King's power. And the fireworks you are seeing almost bring the end of the world to mind. Well, normally, even if some of you have dark vision and whatnot, those have range limitations, and you are easily over 1,000 feet away from the massive, imposing tower. And yet, due to what is happening, you can rather clearly, with your perceptions, see what is going on. And it is a full-on brouhaha, free-for-all brawl between legions of darkness on the ground, hundreds of creatures dogfighting in the air, and the entire area is suffused with magic. There's not even a second where there's not a spell being blasted through the air, arcs of lightning, of eldritch energies flying left, right, and center. And the ground, even from a distance, you can hear the ground shake as you swear amongst the ranks there is this massive, absolutely colossal sized wolf, and it feels like with its every step there's an earthquake going on. And some of you, with your like balls to the wall, like passive perception, you
That's
can,
fucking Fenrir.
yeah, you can see like various debris falling off from the tower, like actual visual damage, but you can tell in your heart that this motherfucker, he wouldn't prepare this thing if a simple earthquake would cast down his tower. This place is more than physical location. This place is more than just building material that it exists in the material plane. So even if the damage is happening, the tower stands strong. And looking high above in the sky, as the clouds swirl and turn, there's a clear distinction that the ritual is happening and energy is being gathered. And you are smart enough to belief, which Beckett confirms, that do not assume. Actually, it's 99% sure that the ritual is not happening at the very top, because that would be too simple. Instead, there is. It must be like somewhere in the middle, in the core. Well, middle for a given value, as Crimson King, it wasn't really his specialty, but Beckett explains that ever since he managed to ransack Yellow King's domain, he did gain a few tricks in regards to dimensional shenanigans, non-Euclidean geometry and whatnot. Combined with his immense magical power, expect weird stuff and assume that even though this tower already looks massive, I know the picture might not give it, but essentially, like size-wise, it's easily can be like a fucking, like a well-sized city. Going upwards. And as few moments pass and you take in this site and the apocalyptic battle, which sure, you've already been in a few fights that were massive in terms of scope, so that in itself doesn't really give you pause. Mages, if you want, you can make an Arcana check, as you can literally like breathe in and the air is suffused with magic.
Alright, let's give this a shot.
Alright, 25, 18.
Don't get high rolls on Arcana.
I mean, yeah, that's a pretty good check. Okay, so those that got below 20, you can feel even from a distance that there's some specific security measure going on, and this is not forbiddance. You already faced forbiddance. You know how the spell works, how it feels. This is something different, but it works in a way that you cannot just simply just waltz in. Essentially, one does not simply teleport into the the Crimson King's ritual chamber. It's something specifically designed to fuck with teleportation. Those that got 20 and above, so Pastor and Sasa, you can pick up more details. It's akin to a multi-layered bubble, and if you try, it doesn't block teleportation per se. You can attempt it. However, if you have tried it and go straight to the jugular, to the center, it would give like 100% chance for misfire, and the party would have been split in a different parts of the tower, which
Scattered.
which in itself, like you are level 20s, you would have been able to like deal with that, probably like regroup and whatnot, but that would cost you resources
And time.
Yeah, time depending on the rolls. So but you and Sasa with a 25, but at the same time you know that no security measure is perfect, and there has to be a vector of travel that works. But one probably exists if you get inside.
Alright, so
And Beckett,
step one.
yeah, gives you like looks at all of you, and his gaze rests on Sasa with a small knowing smirk. So you feel what I have felt as well.
She will say it's not hard to, but the problem is finding how to deactivate it.
It's not really a matter of deactivation, it's a matter of taking small steps.
So slowly getting in rather than just shutting it off.
And as Prism King is busy with his ritual, he doesn't really care about some of the things that might be useful to you. And I am quite aware, after all, knowing is my business, I'm quite aware that his vault is on one of the outermost layers. And my suggestion would be to start from there.
Sounds good to me. Who wants to go steal his shit?
Yeah, I can guide you all there, or rather I can allow us to take a step in. For this step, however, I will just need a helpful guide. He gives a small note to Sasa.
Very well. Does he want me to fly there? Is that what, what I'm getting?
Not fly. Like he's preparing to spell a teleportation again, and he is asking to basically like I know it's not really like you don't really have like a spell or ability for this. It's like a more fluff-wise of like shared senses of like
okay, got
adding
it.
your own arcane knowledge and magical power to ensure that as you take the small step, there is like no chance of misfire.
Got it. He's using me to triangulate how to teleport.
Yeah, that's a way to call it.
Well, Sasa is very technical, so that's how she sees it. But yes, that is very, very okay. I know what he needs me to do, but fluff-wise, Sasa is just gonna put her gun like on the holster for a second and just kind of extend her arm in general direction.
Before we teleport in, presumably, I would like to cast Aid now that we're all here. I'll cast it at 4th level so everyone gets an extra 15 max HP.
Alright.
And I'll just drink a potion to get that spell slot back. Drink me my mana potion.
Okey-doke.
Then you can continue.
Okay. Right. Okay. And just before he casts, he says, be mindful, but don't be too rash in your actions. Yeah, he says that like as like some great wisdom, and then he like like his brow furrows and says, Don't ask me for a deeper meaning. Sometimes the answers I get from my divinations are drawn to interpretation. Alright. And spell goes off. You go inside. However, this time the spell works off properly, and you do find yourself in a in like a. You're not sure this is like a basement because there are like no windows outside, and it is pretty dark, so it's hard to tell if the vault itself is like in the basement or the ground or like just in the tower somewhere. But quick look around does confirm that you are in like a vault region where Crimson King has stored various treasures, including the stuff that he stole from Yellow King's domain. Just as a small note, as you teleported in, there was this like brief moment, like a second, when you felt like you were like traveling through, like walking through a short crimson red corridor.
Is the Yellow King's staff a wizard staff? Or is it like a rod of command or something like that?
What?
Warlock staff. I look at it. I observe it with my eyes.
Are you referring to a like specific item?
I don't know. Is it a specific? You just mentioned it, so I'm like, I want to look at it.
What?
Sorry, have I mentioned
I think you misheard
I
something.
might have been lost.
Yeah, you misheard something.
Okay.
We
Apologies.
teleported into the vault and we felt like we walked through a crimson corridor. That's all
Yes,
that was
yeah.
said.
When you were teleporting in, normally it's like an instant effect. Here is like a flavor. Like essentially, your minds have recognized that there would have been like other corridors splitting off to kind of showcase this like ability of like getting split. But yeah, here's like a short track. Then yeah, you get in.
I'm back.
Alright, it is possible that the Crimson King have not used all of what he looted. So try to not to take too much time, but feel free to see if anything catches your fancy. And it is my roundabout way of saying that out of character, Winona, those do other things. Where are my notes? Yeah, that this certain scroll and the certain stuff, you will be able to find them in here.
Oh. The other two items from my list.
Yeah, the remaining two.
I don't remember what those were.
Okay.
Let me go back at our DMs.
Yeah, it's in our DMs.
Yeah, it's in our DMs. I just need to find it.
Yeah. Honestly, you had a chance to get it, like if you stuck around in the Yellow King's center of power and like looked for his vault, but the way that things went is like you had to like evacuate with Pastor, like.
Yeah. I just didn't want to risk anything else there, so that's okay. Alright.
Yeah.
Okay, the rest of these items is nice.
And yeah, since they were looted, they were just gathering dust in the treasure vault.
Sweet. Guess I'll add the 2 or the 3 that I'm missing, I guess.
Now remind me, does any one of you has any special senses active as you went into the tower? Senses, detections, that sort of stuff.
Probably while they were preparing the teleportation, I would have cast Detect Magic, which lasts 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Bleh, if I could speak. The ritual spell I can do. And I did. I'll post it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is fair. Well, it's just mostly curious, like, you know, about your, like, blind senses, detect good and evil and that sort of stuff.
I've got my
I can
eyes
also do that,
brave.
Because I know that some classes have, like, this shit of, like, detecting, like, celestial fiends. I think one of the clerics has something like that.
Yeah,
I've
got mine
detect
for
good
the
as well.
Eyes of the Grave. I don't have detect good and evil prepared, so I cannot cast it.
I was just doing Detect Magic because I know that the Crimson King is a mage, so I was curious to magic traps and stuff. So
Yeah.
Alright. Oh, I mean, I guess there would have been, like, some protections put on this vault. But I'm also gonna say that for your power, like, you would have no issue dealing with them at no resource expenditure. Yeah, no resource wasted. Because I would say that, considering Crimson King is very focused on that one ritual, so he cut some corners elsewhere. He's like, I don't need to invest that much into this. I'm gonna be a fucking god.
Alright, what were you saying?
You just keep telling
Dollar
yourself.
store god.
Dime store god over here.
And as you do that, around the corner, which suspiciously enough is like at the 60 feet mark away. I'm just gonna fucking do theater of the mind, fuck this. Around the corner, you hear a new, quite cheerful voice, female cheerful voice, going away, going like bouncing off the walls, and around the corner, there's a new figure entering your view. With a bit of red in her clothing, with a mischievous smile, and as she's looking through some of the shiny jewelry that she seems to like looking through, trying to pick up something interesting or not.
Oh god.
Beckett, very, very quietly, as this is like all happening at the same time. Oh, I know what I meant about not acting rashly. Oh my,
Oh,
my! Beckett's not Beckett. Crimsy surely throws a big party with quite an open guest list.
It's fucking Ilogas. Oh shit. That's the fucking Lady of Pain, if anyone doesn't remember.
And
Use that.
back at you, Bookworm. That's an interesting company you are with. Yes, my lady. Even I like to spruce things up from time to time. Oh, surely, but you never responded to my invitations for a tea. My lady, I don't believe there were any invitations. Oh, I'm just screwing with you, you bookworm. It's fine.
She's calling him a nerd! Siasa takes offense to this.
Yeah, as this like exchange is happening, like in this like first moment, what is the character's reaction
Uh,
to this arrival?
Sasa is scared because obviously this is like possibly the strongest person in here currently, besides maybe the Crimson King. So she's just like a little frozen, but also making sure no one is doing anything out of fucking place. I will look at Ibram if Ibram was here.
Right. My lady, if I may be too presumptuous to ask, have you also taken umbrage with what the Grimsy, as you call him, is doing? Oh, it's fine that old Kut may pursue his divinity and whatnot. I don't really feel like it. I just wanted to see if he has any interesting shinies. It's Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday. Maybe not. I've decided that it's Tuesday, and of course, what I decide is the truth. So on Tuesdays, I don't really feel like killing people, you know, to not make things too boring and whatnot. So, you know, you can feel my graciousness and be on your merry way.
I think Dolan is trying to incite Beckett, see if this is a normal conversation between Night Lords or if he's like crying for help.
I think Sasa
Is he
knows 100%
shitting his
that.
pants right now? Is what I want to know.
I think Sasa has an innate knowledge of both Beckett and the Night Lords to know that Beckett is in fact shitting his pants right now.
Oh, tell me, is he shitting his pants right now?
Beckett's shitting his pants right now.
Yes.
He is not doing number 2 exactly. To be more specific, he has a very healthy respect. There's a bit of fear in there because he's not really that much of a fighter, and Lady of Pain clearly outstrips him in terms of power. But believe it or not, he's primarily trying to keep things civil for your sake. Well, maybe not the entire group by association, but primarily for Sasa.
Yeah. Dolan's like, I'm glad I didn't open my mouth.
Yeah, I am not saying anything unless I'm being spoken to, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, if anything, Bookworm, you've managed to find a group of respectable companions that know where to speak and where not. Of course, my lady, I always strive the best. I shall not take more of your time. Oh, of course, it is quite interesting what is happening, quite interesting indeed. Chop chop dears, be on your merry way. And yeah, Beckett is like giving like a polite nod, and then you know where someone is not running but walking in somewhat stiff but
Power walk.
yeah.
We're
Yeah.
speed walking. I follow him, Winter Soldier style.
Yeah, and when you like go around like a few corners and you're like sure out of the earshot and away from not in the line of sight, he pauses. Even though as a vampire he doesn't really need to breathe, he still like does this exhale of
Oh
a
god.
bit of tension leaving his body.
So funny to see a vampire who doesn't breathe exhale. He like purposefully breathes in the first time in 100 years, and he's like, oh.
Dust comes out. He's got to clean out his lungs.
Yeah. So funny to think, like cobwebs.
Yeah, cobweb, little spider crawls out.
Yeah. Of course, we all had to assume that most, if not all, would have been present. I didn't really expect her to be here out of all places, but things managed to be as civil as they were. But assuming you come out of this alive, don't assume things will be civil in any future interactions. She is, not sure if you caught that, but she's a creature driven by whimsy, among other things.
Whimsy.
Yeah, I didn't
She's
change
just
that,
like me,
but
for real.
Technically speaking, someone that made this character, like made the stats and whatnot, put her as chaotic neutral.
Oh my god, wait, she is just like me, for real.
He's taken by flights of fancy, I see.
Yeah, I was
ADHD.
trying to allude to that, but yeah, it's not Tuesday, so or is it Tuesday? And I'm not killing people
Yeah.
on Tuesday, so even though you have
It's
no
like that
fucking clue
one.
if it's Tuesday or not.
Oh.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's like that one. There's a D&D personality trait for one of the backgrounds where it's like, I have an extremely strict moral code and only I know what it is sometimes. Like it constantly changes.
Like lawful neutral, but I only follow my code.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get what it is.
Right, now that this hurdle has been cleared, and yeah, you probably during this whole exchange you were hearing or more like feeling small vibrations going through the like the floor, ceiling, and the walls, indicating that there is fight going on and some collateral damage happening, and Beckett goes, right, I believe our best bet and quickest is to basically piggyback of the work done by the others. I'm sure at least some of you noticed the form of Fenrir stalking the fields. From what I know, this wolf, it's not like a magic user per se, but it has earthbending abilities. AKA it has like access to like 2 earth-based spells. So yeah.
You got Earth and Grasp in there. Looks.
Not really. Actually, the only thing I gave it is move earth and earthquake.
Oh. That's like.
It just digs.
That's like having a butter knife and like the god slaying stored next to each other in a fucking like drawer.
Very, I mean,
I can make funny lines in the mud, and I can kill God.
I could render this earth with my bare hands.
I love that. That's great.
Essentially, their whole bit is about earth abilities. Plus, they have this. So,
I mean, I feel like having those two is apt for a dog. I mean, it can either apply no force at all or enough force to like destroy the world.
Yeah, I mean, it works.
earthquake is not that powerful.
Eh.
It depends on where you use it.
I mean, yeah, fair.
It's like when you use it in an
Sure
open
would
field.
like to speak with you on that one.
Yeah. When you use it in an open field, yeah, earthquake doesn't do a lot. When you use it in a city, big damage.
No, Earthquake's really good in an open field if there's an approaching army on it.
Well, yeah, that's about population
I
density.
mean,
Yeah.
look, there's a reason why I also gave it, or rather not gave it, but it had by default the siege monster, so...
Yes.
Plus,
Oh.
earthquake is really good against buildings, which is what it's mainly used for.
Yeah.
Because it can instantly destroy a lot of buildings.
Yeah. I need to make like a magical society that did the little like stick test where you build the building in sticks on the platform and then shake it to make it earthquake proof.
Right, so, yeah, let's call it, air quotes, the land path. Most likely we'll see us, or see you, deal with Fenrir. Judging from some of the creatures, I think they might not really care about their minions sometimes fighting amongst one another. I could have sworn in the ranks I saw the Lord of Blood near the wolf, so they might be going at it together. And there's a different way how we go at things. It was a bit further away, but the sea... hold on, I need to double check the fucking map.
Belizio.
Okay, so it's... Yeah, it's not really that close to the sea, but... I heard, and probably, yeah, those of you that have high perception also heard that some, waves crashing. So I expect that while you did deal with one Night Lord associated with the water, there is still one more, and I believe that he's also making his way here. Perhaps riding a small tsunami or using the battering power of water to carve his way in.
I mean, do we want to fight a big dog and the other guy? Or do we want to fight in the water or near the water? I'm not very good at swimming.
It's okay, so just to clear things up, it's not gonna be underwater environment. It's
I mean, I know it's not gonna be underwater. That's why I changed to near water.
okay.
I mean, I don't know.
I like the idea of finding the way through the big dog.
Take on big dogs?
There can only be room in this town for one big dog.
There's only room in this town for one of us.
I vote dog fight.
I'm okay with dog.
Right. And yeah, maybe not make this more like whimsical. Like, this is to basically save time, but obviously there are some interior defenses, some minions running around. Some of them are more like mindless, disorganized. Others seem to be working like a unit. There would have been some stationary defenses, traps and whatnot, but between all of your powers, abilities and skills, you can pretty much make short work of them, especially since pretty close by you. You also have like, the defenses are not in a prime state, considering that the tower is under assault by other Night Lords as we speak. So you do find, signs of maybe not combat itself, but like some damage, some debris, and whatnot. And along the way, Beckett does explain that. Actually, does he need to explain? So as you are in and you are like continuing trekking, you can give me one more Arcana check. Mind you, there's a lot of magic in the air, so it's more like a plucking specific tree in a forest. But
Can I give help action?
sure you can.
I have proficiency. Please roll again.
Oh,
Bug.
that sucks.
Doubles, roll again. Come on, doubles, roll again.
Womp womp.
What?
Doubles roll
Double.
again.
Doubles, roll again. Monopoly rules. Let's go.
Oh, okay. Monopoly rules. Hey, Monopoly rules! I know it doesn't count, but it was really fucking funny.
What the hell?
Hell.
Guidance.
I will allow the guidance, so you can roll the guidance bit.
What is 1d4?
I mean, you
Yeah,
should be able
1d4.
to click on the thingy in the chat.
It doesn't let me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
20.
20 on the dot.
Whoa.
Right. Yeah. So it takes a moment. Yeah, because it's a problem of like picking a specific tree in a forest because there's a lot of magic of all kinds going around. But you figure out that you are approaching what it is, like a internal transportation bypass. Like imagine like a core in a building, like an elevator shaft, and that's, you know, not stopping at every floor, but like a specific floors. But instead of like actual structure of elevator, you have a magical circle going about.
Alright. And can we use that to find the way?
Yes, you will find a way. However, there's gonna be a bit here going on. Because as you charge in, I'm gonna put your characters, let's say, around here.
Oh boy.
I just want to say I may have to leave.
That's alright. I was thinking that all things considered, we might just set the situation here and probably call it.
I'm okay with that.
Alright.
Presentation. I want to see what to expect next week.
Yeah, Ibrahim and Winona.
Sorry.
That's okay.
It's
You're good.
I'm not sure if your golem is out and about.
Oh,
I
no, my
need 30
God.
days to study that scroll.
No, not Winona's golem, Sasa's
Mine.
pond.
Yeah.
Right. As
By the
you
way,
are charging towards. So what was that, Derp?
Nothing.
Yeah, so you're charging into this chamber, which, for the most part, it looks as it is. The series of columns supporting the ceiling. A lot of fucking, like, a lot of the floor here is made out of bones of thousands upon thousands of victims of the war and other atrocities done by the Crimson King. The debris is new. You know, some parts of the ceiling fell down as the earthquakes are hitting the tower, and the circle in the middle, it is the, like, you all have enough arcana knowledge to say that this is indeed your ticket forward, upward, towards your destination. But as you are approaching, so I might put you starting like not at the edge, but a little bit closer. approaching, you realize there's a specific jig and a gimmick in the situation that this circle needs to power up. And as you realize this, from the opposite corner, a wolf-like howl echoes throughout the area, and you will notice almost. Thankfully, the corridors here, like basically the entire area inside the tower, is like spacious, and it is indeed gives vibes of bigger on the inside. But like height-wise, that wolf Fenrir, his reddish eyes glowing in the dark, emerging,
Dog.
and letting out a howl, and you realize that it is not alone, as some of the blood on the ground seems to flow a bit, and then circles around the other figure that's stepping slightly behind the wolf. It seems like the Lord of Blood, for whatever reason, or maybe with no reason needed, seems to at least walk alongside the other Night Lord. And apart from the wolf's howl, the Lord of Blood calls, "Let us find an answer. Who shall partake in the blessing of the blood?" With at least a few rounds needed to charge the elevator. Thankfully, you do not need to use your actions and your power to charge it. This is gonna be happening on its own. Yeah, you will be having a few rounds of either holding these Night Lords back, or who knows, maybe you are so OP that you will be able to kill them in like 5 turns or something, but it's like around 4 or 5 turns before this elevator charges.
I mean, assuming they roll low enough, it'll only take 2 turns as I banish them both to hell.
Yeah. I mean, here's the
Night
thing.
Wash
Banishment is permanent only to, well, non-native. And sure, one of them, one of those two is aberration, but the other isn't.
The funny thing
this
is,
a different...
Talisman of Pure Good does not care if you originally came from there.
Yeah,
It only matters if you're evil. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're any denomination of evil, you're banished. Go to hell. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
That is alright.
Straight to hell.
They allow saving throws, and of course they have legendary resistance.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm still glad I got to banish that one dude that one time. I'm happy with that.
Oh yeah, the knight, the corrupted knight.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dude who like duplicates himself every time he takes damage.
Use that on.
We got a big dog and a hemophiliac. Here we go. This is the real shit.
We got a Tremere and a big dog.
Yeah.
What?
I want to kill the big dog.
At least hope for the Lord of Blood I will be able to showcase most of his abilities before he dies.
Yeah. The Nihil. He wanna fucking Nihil us, rain of blood us, all that kind of bullshit.
Rain from the sky!
It's not called Nihil, but there are some abilities that...
Good.
And also for our longest
expect
time,
nothing less.
and I had to make this a separate, like a visible information post, you would realize it has an aura. I just, no matter how what I put on the token, it just doesn't show. So we just have to like remember that. Yeah,
Alright.
the fucker does have an aura that makes healing less efficient.
Ooh, wow.
Please give blood. Good.
Raise
Yeah.
wound.
Alright.
Yeah, so you can roll initiative, and we can basically pick up the combat
Okay.
from hopefully next week, I guess.
Let me just adjust Pastor's Light to be.
Do you want me to roll for Ebro?
Yeah, sure.
Or let him roll? Okay.
Pastor's Lights right now are white, by the way.
Very good.
Birch,
Right.
birch.
Thank you for running the session as always. Until next week.
Yes, I'm so
Alright.
excited.
I can't wait.
Gonna be
Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go.
for Today.
I can't wait.
Goodbye,
Hopefully
everyone.
we'll have a full party.
Bye.
But yeah. See
Yes,
you-
hopefully. I know I'll be able to go. So.
Okay, that's good. So yeah. See you next week, I hope.